One of the experiences I had recently was a friend of mine who wrote a book on teenage girls was telling me about her internet search. And she keyed in preteen. She wanted to see all the academic research that had been done on preteens recently. First thing she gets is softcore, hardcore pornography of young girls. So one of the things I think is really important to say to teenagers, to parents, is the information superhighway's got a lot of stuff on that sexualizes girls, that treats girls like trash. Softcore pornography, advertising, and fashion have all sort of blurred together in one set of images. And you know, you look at advertising anymore, it doesn't look all that much different from the poses and so on of a Playboy magazine. I mean, there's not much boundaries anymore between those different kinds of photography. Women are valued in the media for their sexuality. And particularly the way this affects young teenagers is they think it's very important to be sexually attractive, or if they aren't sexually attractive, or if they're afraid of being sexual and sexually attractive, they feel badly about themselves because they aren't more sexual. They feel like they're left out of the really important stuff that's happening for teenagers. An interesting thing that happens to girls is particularly insecure girls tend to do what I call lead with their sexuality. And a common thing is they'll present themselves as very sexual, they'll call up boys, they'll proposition boys. A lot of times when I speak, mothers will come up to me and they'll say, my son's getting calls from girls offering to have sex with him, wanting him to go out and so on. And they'll go, what could be in these girls' heads? To me, it's totally simple what's in girls' heads. They've been taught that what's valuable about them is their sexuality. So when they go out and interface with the world, that's what they offer people. People had sex in high school when I was a teenager, but very few girls were being propositioned at 12 and 13. So everything has been pushed back to a younger age. And it's very significant because those 5 years between, say, 13 and 18 are years when kids do so much growing, so much development in terms of their social and emotional maturity that they make much better decisions at 18 than they make at 13. Both girls and boys really get pushed into sexual relationships much earlier than they're ready. In fact, kids get kind of channeled into behavior that they later regret, realize they weren't old enough to handle, and so on. Margaret Mead's a role model to me. And one of the things she said that I think is very beautiful is an ideal culture is one in which there is a place for every human gift. It's a very succinct definition of an ideal culture. If you apply that to adolescent girls, what you can say is one of the reasons they get in trouble is they go from a developmental stage when most of their gifts are appreciated. You take the average 9-year-old girl, she can be a good baseball player, a good math student, a good violinist, and most of those gifts are valued by her family, her neighborhood friends. As she moves into junior high, what's likely to happen is the number of her gifts that are valued is reduced to a very small set. They're probably related to her attractiveness, her thinness, her sex appeal, and her popularity.